Hello beautiful people, you're welcome back to the channel. If you're stopping by for the very first time, hi, I'm Jennifer Emiowe. Please don't make it your last. Do well to hit the subscribe button and turn off the post notification to get notified each time I upload a new video. So without wasting much time, let's get into the gist of today's video. Bad money habits I had that kept me broke in my 20s. So if this looks like what you'd be interested in, definitely stick around. So the first point I will talk about is not having a good understanding of money principles. Why did I say so? I'll give you a clear example. Like very much in my early 20s, there's some amount of money you will call like, for instance, a friend of mine told me he got a furniture in his house for 400,000 naira at that time. I remember very well telling him that it was a waste of money. You know, to me, every big money was a waste. If you tell me you got a perfume for 15,000 naira, I'll tell you it's a waste of money because money was too expensive in my eyes. You know, there's this saying that if your heart cannot handle it, then your hands cannot handle it. So money was just too much. Some amount of money was just too much for me at the time. So if you're in your 20s, I'll advise you, do not be a mediocre when it comes to money. If you are a parent currently watching me, please teach your children from a very early age how to handle money. Teach them from a very early age how money multiplies and the principles of money management. Okay, let me give you an example. My 3-year-old will always call 30 naira. You know, anything you ask her, how much is your school fees? 30 naira. How much did your mommy buy your shoes? 30 naira. You know, for the longest time she kept saying 30 naira to everything. And then recently she started saying 5,000. I say, God, I thank you. So after now, I'll just start teaching her 500,000, 1 million, 1 billion, and all of that. Well, that's on a lighter note. But my point is, from a very early age, try and teach your children about money. If you give them a chore, try and encourage them with money. Try and just help them know about money from a very early age. You know, so the mistake I made in my 20s was that I did not have a proper understanding of money early on. So when you call some kind of amount like 750,000, 1.5 million, it was too much for me. So at the point, my heart couldn't handle some amount of money, like heavy money. So that was part of why I consider myself broke in my early 20s. So number two, I thought that hard work equals cash inflow. But no, that doesn't work. Hard work does not equal cash inflow. So it's not a matter of how much you work. It's not a matter of how much effort you work. But instead, smart work gives you the cash. So I'll encourage you, if you're in your 20s and currently working a job that takes your time and wears you out, I will not tell you directly to leave that job, but that's not a job, that's a trap. I will come again. If you are in your 20s and you are currently working a job that takes your time and takes your energy, that's after work you're all fagged out and tired, please, that's not a job, that's a trap. Why did I say so? In my 20s, I had about 3 streams of income, but I was always broke. I was always broke. Like, it got bad to the point that my landlord had to have an understanding with me to be paying my rent monthly. Even then, I couldn't meet up. Yet, I had 3 stable sources of income. I was working very, very hard, yet I was always broke. So if you have a job that takes your time and leaves you tired, that means you cannot have an alternative job. You cannot have a second job. You get? That's a trap. That's not a job. So why I said hard work does not equal cash inflow. So do not make that mistake. Do not be like me. Smart work is what guarantees the cash inflow. So number 3 bad money habit I had was that I had no emergency fund. I had no cash reserve. Like, whenever money comes, I spend on this, I spend on that, no backup plan. So by the time the money finishes, I'm broke, like broke to nothing. Okay? So You don't want to make that mistake of not having a cash reserve. It will save you a lot of embarrassment. You don't want to go about asking people for urgent 2K. So if you're listening to me, you're watching me right now, please, by all means, have a cash reserve so that when you're down to nothing, you have something to fall back to. Do not just spend all your money and fall back to nothing. Then number 4, do not save money without a plan. Do not save money without a plan. I used to, at some point I'll be like, I don't want to get broke. So when I'm paid, when I get money, I just save up the money. This 50K, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just leaving it. Just ask me the purpose of saving that 50K. Like, I cannot tell you the purpose of saving that 50K, but I'm just saving it. I'm just saving it. They say when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. You just save up the money and somebody walks up to you and like, please, I need 10K. Can you just borrow me? I'm going to pay you back so time. Even when the person is not capable of paying you back the money, out of pity, you be like, hey, and I have 150K. Should I just give her? Most of the time I fell into that trap of just giving urgent money. Okay, that money I said I wasn't going to touch, I was just saving it up. I end up going back to the money, taking, and before you know it, I can't even give account of that money. So if I would advise you, if you have no plan for a particular money, I'm not talking about your cash reserve now. If you have no plan for a particular funds, just invest it. Even the Bible says, cast your bread upon the waters. Okay? The Bible says, there is he that scattereth, yet increaseth, and there is he that withholdeth more than is necessary, and it tendeth to poverty. I'm not saying don't give. I'm not saying don't save. But all I'm saying is, if you have if you have funds that you do not have plans for, instead of locking it up in the bank, of course you trust your bank, they will always get their commission as often as possible. Instead of locking up that money in your account, find a profitable use of the funds. Let your money work for you. Okay, instead, I made so many impulse purchases. I had so many impulse buying. I'll give you an example. I used to be a sucker for kitchen utensils, okay? And then I had a customer. From time to time, I'll just walk up to her shop and like, madam, waiting day, and she will always show you a new design of wine glasses, kitchenwares generally. And from time to time, I always buy. I was always patronizing her. It got to a point, she called me and asked, like, why am I buying all these things? I was like, hey, I'm buying them because I want to take them to my husband's house. Most of the times I just buy them and keep. I find myself even buying similar designs to what I already have before. Okay, and so she called me up one day, not because she didn't want to sell, but she was just wondering, and so she called me and just gave me a piece of advice, and she said, don't even bother yourself, because some of all these gifts, you may end up getting them as a wedding gift. At that point, I stopped buying. So when it came to my wedding period, a particular gift, I had them like triple. I had so many kitchen gifts. Till now, I'm like almost 5 years in marriage, and I've not even bought any spoon. Like, I've not bought anything for it. And I've not bought any new kitchen utensils because I got so many kitchen gifts. Okay? So you don't want to make any impulse buying. Whatever it is you don't have immediate use for, please do not be like me. Don't buy them. Lastly, what people will say. If you're in a group and you're asked to pay a certain money, it mustn't be a group necessarily. Maybe family group, alumni group, or whatever. If you're in a group with other people and you're asked to pay a certain amount of money, if you do not have the money, please don't work yourself up. If you do not have the money to pay, do not stress yourself because of what people will say. I was really concerned about what people will say. I don't want people to look at me in a certain way. You know the truth. Nobody really cares. Nobody really sees you. Like, nobody sends you. Most of the time, it's just our minds working us. Most of the time, it's just your mind working you, telling you people are noticing you, people are seeing you do this, people are seeing you that, people are seeing you do this, people are seeing you do that. But the truth is that nobody really cares. Nobody really sends. Nobody really sees you. So what matters is that you are doing what you please. You're doing what you want to do. Okay? So I hope you don't be like me. I hope you're able to make sense out of this video. I hope you're able to learn a thing or two. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a huge thumbs up, and drop a nice comment in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Never leave you.